Hello, this is Attorney Masah S, SamForay, founder of the Foray Firm with offices in Houston and in Chicago. And I am back again to talk to you about all things immigration. So congratulations on receiving your visa. Today we're going to talk about what happens next. So you received your visa, now you have arrived at a border or at the airport, and you want to know what happens next. Once you get to the port of entry, and again, that could be at the US-Canada border, the US-Mexico border, by land, or a port of entry at an airport, you will encounter some custom officers. You're going to be directed to a particular line. One line is going to be for US green card holders and US citizens. The other line is going to be for immigrants. So obviously make sure that you're in the correct line. Once you get to the front of the line, you will go through a process that is quick but important. And that is the second of two steps into actually getting entry into the United States. Okay, so again, step one was getting the visa. Congratulations, hooray! Step two is actually getting past the customs or border officer. So they're gonna ask you a series of questions. It's gonna be quick and you should know the answers. So these are the questions that you should expect. I'm gonna give you the top 5. Number 1, what is the purpose of your visit? You need to be very clear about the kind of visa that you asked for, the kind of visa that you received, and the kind of answer that you need to give. So in this example, we'll talk about a B2 tourism visa. So the purpose of your visit is a vacation if you were here on a tourist visa. Where will you be staying? Again, you need to be very clear. Even if you don't have the exact street number and address of the hotel or the relative with whom you'll be staying, you do need to be very clear about the city and the state where you will be living, or where you will be residing rather, during your visit. You need to be ready to show your passport. So that's number 3. Be ready to show your passport. Have it open to the relevant visa page, because customs officers are going to be dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of people a day. You want to make their job easier. You don't want to aggravate them or draw unnecessary attention to yourself. Number 4, how long will you be staying in the US? Again, be very, very clear about your visa. Even if, for instance, you were granted a 5-year or a 10-year multiple re-entry visa, you need to be very clear about how long you can stay here for one continuous or continual period of time. And be very clear about what your return flight back to your home country says, so that you can answer correctly. Again, you don't want to raise any red flags. And number 5, what countries did you visit on your way here? So it's perfectly okay if you left country A to visit some other countries before you got to the United States, but certainly, especially after September 11th, 9/11, U.S. Border Patrol officers are going to be very, very interested in particular countries in the Middle East. Let's be frank. If you visited or passed through Iran, you passed through Iraq on the way here, that might raise some questions. They might have some follow-up questions for you. So if at all possible, take a direct flight. If at all possible, go through countries that would draw less attention. But if not, just be very clear and have ready answers about why you visited, why you stopped, and again, what the purpose of your trip is here in the United States. So, if you raise any red flags and the Customs or Border Patrol officer finds your initial questions to be, or rather your answers to your initial questions to be suspicious, then you're going to have to go through what they call a secondary inspection. So this secondary inspection actually happens in a private room. In the secondary inspection, they will ask you additional questions. They could go through your luggage. They're certainly going to definitely do a body search. They could go through your immigration records. They are going to try to find any corroborating evidence to corroborate the answers that you already gave. That could even include, for instance, going on your social media. So pay particular attention to this, because again, going back to the initial hypothetical that I gave, if you came here on a B2 tourism visa and you have therefore told your initial interviewing agent at your consulate or your embassy that you were not coming here permanently, and then you went through the line and you told that officer that you were here on a B2 tourism visa, so you were not coming here permanently, and then you get called into a secondary inspection and you have pictures all over your social media in front of your home in Indiana or in front of your home in Illinois, or you're waving a big key because you've done a house closing, meaning that you own property here in the United States, that's going to raise some red flags. So just make sure that you pay attention to the type of visa that you asked for and the type of visa that you were granted, and know that this is a very short, sometimes 2 to 3 minute process, but it is extremely important, and that is the last step and the last barrier to actual entry into the United States. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will be back next time to answer more questions on family-based immigration.